January 11th, 2025 to December 2026, the North Node will be in Pisces and the South Node will be in Virgo. Now, the North Node just spent over a year in Aries and the South Node in Libra, and we had massive opportunity to learn more about ourselves. What do we want to do in this world? That particular area of your life, wherever Aries is, of course, is the story that was playing out. And on the world stage, I mean, think about what the Aryan archetype's all about. We're talking about identity. We're talking about ideological movements. We're talking about, what do I believe in? We're talking about, is my group going to take over the country or not? Is what I believe in going to be the law of the land, right? And now, as we shift into this age of fire and air, which, as we all know, is just symbolic for all of the outer planets changing signs. Anytime the outer planets change signs, we are talking about era shifts, generational shifts, and all of the outer planets are changing signs at once. Neptune, that has just been in Pisces for 12 years, will be moving on to Aries, right? And that official shift won't truly happen until early 2026. So Neptune will still have an opportunity to dance with the North Node in Pisces this coming year. But this coming year is very much focused in the Piscean, the watery energies of the ethereal, the depths of the unconscious, the realms of awakening, with a massive, rapid movement of Uranus in Gemini, Pluto in Aquarius. And yes, we're going to taste what the fire of Aries feels like for the dreamy planet, these ethereal and spiritual creative planets of Neptune. Because we very much are going to be able to put our dreams into action. We very much on the world stage are going to be able to, again, fight for what we believe in, but also be able to use resources in a very creative way to allow things to unfold that hopefully will benefit the future of humanity versus destroy it. Now, I want to really very much focus this video today on how these nodal shifts can affect you. But it's almost impossible for me not to talk about the world and what's going on in the world when it comes to great shifts of consciousness and things that involve the evolution of even us, because we are tied to the karma of the world. But my job and my intention as a consulting astrologer is to always kind of manage the balance between the psycho-spiritual nature for us and the collective evolutionary process of the world. And we're in such a powerful time for us to not only change ourselves and our place in the world and what we want to do, because we are very much in a moment where we can be very, very entrepreneurial and independent in our own endeavors right now. Okay, technology is booming like we've never could have imagined. There are so many opportunities for all of us to get more creative and inspired to do something in this world maybe none of us have ever dreamed before, which is also, I think, a big part of Neptune and Aries. But also for us all to recognize that if we don't all participate in the collective evolution of consciousness and awakening, and I'm not saying this in a new age way, I'm saying this in a way of awakening, a new way humanity must be living, otherwise we will blow ourselves to smithereens with nuclear war. We will blow ourselves to smithereens with ideological idiocy, you know? So Pisces, the North Node in Pisces, coming right after a North Node transit in Aries, is all about how can we become more of a one world. And when I say a one world, I'm just referring to how can we all recognize our shared being? How can we all put aside the differences and the wild ideological battles to have some kind of respect for each other? And how can we use our analytical minds to also be very logical and to focus very much on the worldly things we need to focus on, but at the same time recognize our spiritual essence to our creative nature? Okay? And I think whether we like it or not, we're going to be forced into these energies, you know? So in our own life, again, we can think about the prior times these nodes have been in these zodiac signs. We're talking 2006 to 2007 was the last time the North Node was in Pisces, and sometimes you can reflect backwards and go, okay, hey, what was going on in the world? What was going on in your life? What were you doing? Because the nodes want to shine a light, especially the North Node wants to shine a light on a part of your life and pretty much say, hey, you have an opportunity to have a change of fate and destiny here. You have an opportunity to meditate and reflect deeply on this part of your life and to do something magical here, to do something ethereal, spiritual, and creative here, to do something that may change your consciousness and the way you think forever. So in today's video, I very much want to discuss the shift of the node into Pisces from the North Node coming from Aries over the last year and a half. So as many of you know, my friends, we like to get cozy here. We like to just sort of sink in and have conversations on astrology, what's going on in the world, kind of, but also what's going on within ourselves and how we can use astrology to better our own lives and our purpose and evolutionary process in this life. My name is Theodore. I'm an astrologer. And if you enjoy this video, if you enjoy my vibe, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, clicking the notification bell, hitting the like button, and leaving a comment, because all of that would really help my channel continue to grow and get shared around the interwebs. So, my friends, just to continue on what I was saying before, Pisces is very much a place of healing, a place of awakening, a place of understanding ourselves on the deepest of levels, and sometimes getting lost in the sauce. So we have to also be very aware that as we focus on the Pisces areas of our lives, as we focus on collective energy in the realm of Pisces, we are talking about, yes, massive opportunities for advancing inspiration, creative potential, awakening, and awakening in the most logical of senses, because again, we're dealing with the nodes here. So there's a lot of logical paths to awakening for the collective and for ourselves. We very much have to keep in mind the analytical mind and our attachment to the physical world to further our progress in this world. So that's why the nodes of fate and destiny are very much important to balance, not to just totally tip over to one side. It's almost as if we have to use our intellectual understanding and our very earthly understandings in psychology to get to a place where we can very much dream a new world into being, very much dream a new part of our Pisces placements into a new realm of existence and understanding. Okay, because we need to have that counterbalance. We need to have Virgo in order to understand what is needed to progress within Pisces. So the nodes of fate and destiny coming from Aries, the North Node coming from Aries into Pisces now, we're having a massive opportunity for us to take all of the lessons we learned or should have learned and put them into a new state of understanding of, okay, well, now I kind of know who I am or what I'm not. How do I mold this chaos of information and put it into action where I can very much start doing the work on a creative level, on a spiritual level? How can I open my heart? How can I be more intuitive, empathic to my brothers and sisters? How can I come back into a more powerful state of mindfulness? And that's something the Virgo part very much wants to be a part of, or needs to be a part of. We need to take the analytical and the very OCD nature of, and the intellectual nature of Virgo, and we need to ground it into some spiritual presence. And from there, can we very much gain more insight so it can hit our intellectual minds, so it can make more sense on a logical level, and then take that logic and intellectualism and put it into the Pisces part of our life to actually build something from the dreams, from the creative potential, from the spiritual insights. So on the world stage, my friends, we're going to see a lot more stuff unfold that can be catastrophic, that can be worrisome, that can still add a lot of elements of delusion and confusion, because don't get it twisted, Neptune in Pisces has added a ton of illusion and confusion to the world, misinformation, what side of the aisle you're on, I don't care. Everybody is calling each other a liar. Everybody wants a different reality and has a different vision of the future, right? So we're talking about still dealing with the aftermath of all of that stuff, still moving into a future where there can be a lot of war and a lot of culture war activity, that there can still be a lot of confusion and delusion around what is true, especially as the tech age continues to boom, dealing with deep fakes and all this stuff going on the internet. Nobody knows what the hell is real half of the time. And this is a problem. And this very much has to still be dealt with during the aftermath of Neptune and Pisces cycle, for example. That was huge for the boom of social media and what is real, what is not real, how should we live our lives versus what the internet is telling us. And we're still in that age, and that's not going away. But this is a powerful moment for discernment too. And when the North Node gets into Pisces, we're going to have now kind of like that final moment of reckoning where the node of fate and destiny is going to say, hey, what's been going on here in your life? Is there something you need to change? Is there something you've learned here? Especially with Saturn that's been there, okay? There's been a lot of lessons learned in Pisces, I would like to believe, for all of us. So it's almost like, hey, what do you need to learn further here? What do you actually need to do here? Self-reflect a little bit more deeply. The North Node wants us to self-reflect a little bit more deeply, wants us to realize certain things about our lives that are very, very powerful, so we can make proper steps forward, so we can evolve in a very spiritual sense. This is a very awakening time for a lot of us too. Not that some of these past years have not been awakening, my friends, because Jesus Christ, there has been so much going on in the world and so much chaos, and in our own lives. Look, we just came from the COVID years, right? A lot of people are still dealing with the economy fallout, the lack of trust in so many institutions fallout. We are dealing with the complete and utter shapes and shifts of new world territory, which is all about the outer planets, the age of fire and air once again. But we're now, again, needing to focus on the Pisces part of our life now, not the Aries part of our life, okay? Not the Taurus part of our life that we were dealing with, as we go back years and years over the recent past. We are now dealing with the complete shift into the depths of the unknown. And we are dealing with a very, very powerful place where we all know we need to evolve. We all know that there's a future coming down the line that we can't see yet. And how do we handle this? On the world stage, a lot of us are still like, okay, well, where's the world actually going? Oh, okay, we kind of know where the US is sort of heading. We kind of know where, politically speaking, things are going. Or we're still in a massive state of confusion, and we have no idea where the United States is going. Or we can look around the world and go, oh my God, look at where what all these countries are doing now. Where is everything shifting? What does the youth want? What are they crying out for? Right? Because we've been seeing the uprise during the Aryan nodal age, and now we're starting to see that shift of, okay, well, there's a new world that is wanting to be born right now. There is a new version of ourselves that want to be born right now. But how do we actually do it? What are the tools that we need? What is the intellectual process that we need to birth this new world even for us in our area of our life? Where is Pisces for you? Share in the comments. Where is Pisces for you? Because this is a part of our life that needs to be meditated upon. Okay? We're going to have a year or so of deep meditation while we are building a new life for ourselves. Because trust me, a lot of us are building a new life. A lot of us are becoming entrepreneurs. A lot of us are starting to wake up to the bullshit of the world. If people have not already woken up already. But a lot of people are still sleeping, my friends. And the fact of the matter is that, yes, on the collective level, we are going to be very much aware of the further evolutionary processes involving the age of when the North Node was in Aries, and now the North Node being in Pisces, where it's like, okay, we need to now continue on this awakening journey, this revelation of what the world is and the karma of the world will evolve into. But where we are is also equally important and to focus on. And a lot of us are starting to wake up more and more and more. And again, I'm not saying this in a new age way. I'm just saying this, look around. More and more people are waking up to the horror of politics. More and more people are waking up to the realities of their lives. Okay? In the last two years, we are dealing with what Aries has been for you. That has been where the major awakening has happened. This is where the massive shifts have begun. Okay, as these outer planets really started to get going and moving forward, especially with Pluto and Aquarius. That's why last year was so big, because Pluto entered Aquarius and we had a massive solar eclipse in Aries, which was huge. And I think a lot of people had a massive event in their life, in the Aryan part of their life, and that really changed the game for them. If you have an Aries story, by the way, of your eclipse Aries story, please share with that in the comments too, from last April 2024. But we are now dealing with the next theme of life over. And the world is now dealing with the archetype of Pisces and the dreams and the creative potential that is needed and the creative vision that is needed in order for us to move into the next evolutionary leap of consciousness. Whether we have to go through more struggle or not, that is part of the awakening process. And for all of us, Pisces is very much a place where most of our lives, wherever theme of life, wherever this is in your birth chart, Pisces very much is a part of our lives where we might have felt a little bit more ethereal, spiritual, connected to our emotions and intuition a little bit more deeply. This could be also a place where we might have always have had some confusion and delusion. A place where things can get confusing, things can get a little unreal, if you will. Because Pisces definitely harbors a realm of what is real, what is not real. It is this ethereal, spiritual realm that can still be very strange and weird for us humans to completely understand, right? Like if you have Pisces in the 4th house, you could have grown up in a family where there was a lot of drug use, a lot of confusion and delusion around what is real, like what is real parenting? Like why are my parents acting like this? You know, or there could have just been or you could have lived in a very creative house where maybe most of your family were artists and all you saw was just creativity and boundless infinite potential through different types of craft versus understanding how you should do math and pay your taxes, right? Which is really what Virgo would be all about. So Pisces, for all of us, wherever this is in your birth chart, we are being given an opportunity after the age of Neptune and Pisces, after all the lessons that Saturn has been bringing us involving structuring some kind of thing there in our life. Because again, Saturn comes in and wants to structure, wants to take things that are going on in that part of your life, and it wants to go, yeah, I think this needs to be reworked. Yeah, I think we're going to make you work a little extra hard for something you really desire in that part of your life. How bad do you want this? Saturn is there. Saturn has been there trying to teach you something there. Now the nodes of fate and destiny come in and go, okay, well, what do you want to really do here now? Do you really want this now? Do you really want to continue on this path in the Piscean part of your life? Is what going on in that part of your life that important to you? What do you need to change here? What do you need to do here to move and evolve forward? Right? And honestly, if you think back to 2026 to 2027, that is the last time the North Node was in Pisces. And I can tell you for myself, with Pisces being the 5th house for me, very creative place. And again, that part of my life, I was very much moving from I've always been an artist, so I was always moving from one very powerful or I was moving from a very powerful creative path in my life and slowly switching gears to another path. And I wasn't sure if this path was right for me. I was also planning a move from the East Coast to the West Coast to pursue some kind of new artistic endeavor. And during that entire year, I was kind of in this ethereal spiritual limbo where I was trying to gauge who I was as an artist, as a creative, as someone who wanted to very much have a path in life to express himself. And I think when we really examine what's going on now in our life, we can very much maybe feel some of that similar energy. We're all trying to gauge maybe a part of our life where we're like, okay, well, how do I really want to express myself in this part of my life? I need to reflect a little bit more deeply now in this part of my life as the world is changing so much, as I've gone through so much evolutionary change through the past couple of years, and even through the past 5-6 years with COVID, right? Through these years of evolutionary change and seeing what the world has done to us all. And now being in such a profound shift of the age of fire and air, we are now given a massive opportunity to once again look at the Piscean, look at the Virgo part of your life, and to see how this axis needs to be balanced. How can you use the Virgo energy to birth what needs to be birthed in the Pisces part of your life? And we're going to start feeling a lot of these beginning shifts as we head into the beginning part of 2025, because we're going to have a lot of Piscean activation with Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde going from March into April, right? And then the eclipse, of course, will provide us with a massive answer to some of our maybe concerns and questions and meditations. So these eclipses coming up are going to be very important to set up the North Node Pisces cycle. And then we're going to have shifts back from Saturn and Neptune back into Pisces in the fall, which will again set us up for another round of eclipses that are going to be very beneficial as we get into 2026. And that's when we're really going to start understanding more deeply what the Piscean part of our lives is very much all about. And that's when we're very much going to see what the world is all about. Okay? Because yes, on the world stage, Pisces has equal opportunity to continue on a lot of delusion and confusion in this world. But at the same time, bring us the ideas, innovations, dreams, creativity to birth a new one. So during this shift of fire and air, having the North Node start a journey in Pisces is a beautiful launch pad for innovation, creativity, spiritual awakening, collective unity consciousness to realize we are a one world, not just little isolated nations. And I think this is super important for the evolution of our human race and for ourselves in this point in history. So, yeah, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I hope you found this video useful. If you enjoyed this video, please, once again, consider commenting, and subscribing to my channel, and I will see you all in the next video.